like to welcome everyone to our, I guess this would be our really first council meeting as the new council, and I'd like to welcome Lauren Abbott, another one of our youth council members, or I'll call you council members. Can't vote on anything, honey, but anytime you want to speak, you just go like this and I'll recognize you. So welcome. Olivia, you have a partner now. So we have one from Essex High and one from Harrow High. So welcome, Lauren. And then we have one council member, Councillor Snively, who is absent, and he went to see the doctor. We all know that he has some heart problems, and they may have put him right into the hospital this evening. So it is a serious problem that he has. So remember Larry in your prayers, please. Are there any conflicts of interest amongst the council members? No, thank you very much. We're looking for the adoption of the published agenda for Monday, December the 15th. Councillor Caxero, Councillor Bondi. One question, thank you.
It's actually more of a comment, but I'm going to sneak it in right now. During a recent special meeting of council, there was a resident that was very disruptive, and I hope that going forward, Mr. Mayor, your worship, that we can keep the behavior in the council chambers respectable. I know it's happened to myself, but we're all elected up here, and when members of our audience are disrespectful, I believe they need to be removed or apologize. So I hope that going forward that we have a great 4 years where the residents are not disrespectful to our elected officials. Thank you.
You're welcome. Looking for the adoptions of the November 17th regular council meeting. Deputy Mayor Malash, Councillor Caxero, any questions? All in favor? Motion carries. November the 17th special council meeting. Councillor Caxero, Councillor Bjorkman, any questions? All in favor of the motion? Motion carries. December the 1st inaugural council meeting. Deputy Mayor Malash, Councillor Caxero, any questions? All in favor? Motion carried. Our next presentation is from Taras Nadashak, our MPP for Essex, bringing greetings. Taras, welcome.
Hello. Very good. Thank you so much, Your Worship. It is indeed a real pleasure to be here, and thank you very much for the opportunity to address Council. I would like to first begin by congratulating each and every one of you on your election victories. I know it's been a couple of weeks since the election, but nonetheless, it certainly is a testament to your dedication to our community and your willingness to serve our community too as well. So I want to sincerely congratulate you on your efforts and look forward to working with you during the next 4 years as we go along. I think we can all breathe a little sigh of relief. Our elections were in the same calendar year, so we've got a mandate to work together, and that's what I'm here today to do, is just to really, in an informal but yet certainly formal way, to touch base with you and connect, certainly with the new members of council, to introduce myself to you as well in a formal way, and to let you know that the door is open, that there are issues certainly that cross jurisdictions with the town of Essex, as well as the provincial legislature, that we should all be working on and focused on, and I'll touch on briefly just a few of them here. Your Worship, how much time do I have? 5 minutes? Okay, I'll be quick. So once again, congratulations. I'd also like to give a mention to the former councillors that were here, Bill Baker, Morley Bowman, and John Scott, for their dedication and their commitment in serving our community. And Your Worship, you had mentioned Councillor Snively. Please wish him my best in anything in his medical challenges that you had referenced. So what are we working on at our office? In July, I had my staff reach out to each municipality in the riding of Essex to identify areas of priority that myself and our office could help support when it comes to funding requests, of course, for the province. I know that that is always topical and top of mind. We received, thankfully, a detailed response from Mr. Phillips identifying the reconstruction of Fairview Avenue as a project that Essex previously applied for funding under the Small Rural and Northern Municipalities Infrastructure Fund. I plan to meet with town staff in the very near future to discuss how we can help with the next application and to get a sense of the scope for this project. I also want this to be an ongoing process whereby we keep the lines of communication open and work together to ensure that our region stays top of mind with the provincial government, and that Queen's Park is an active partner in addressing our economic, social, and infrastructure needs. To provincial issues that may contain local impact, certainly you're familiar with the cuts locally to our healthcare services, OB services at Leamington. Previously, there was an attempt to cut thoracic cancer surgery in Windsor, thankfully through public pressure and your assistance as council, and really a unanimous amount of support in Essex County, we were able to stop that. I fear that that's the type of effort that we'll have to embark on again going forward to protect our local services, especially in rural areas such as the Leamington OB. Of course, Essex doesn't fall necessarily in that catchment, but it plays an important role in our overall healthcare delivery. Education, the province has announced $500 million in cuts to education, closing of specifically rural schools, and still no consideration given to the funding formula that has been a bone of contention for regions across the province for nearly a decade now. That's one issue that myself and my colleagues in the legislature continue to pressure the government on to review and amend the funding formula so that small and rural schools aren't always on the chopping block. And unfortunately, we know that there are several in our area that are that are on the radar. And they have my commitment to make sure that the park process is fair and that the voices of the residents are heard and all considerations are given before taking any steps to close small schools. It is absolutely detrimental to our the livelihood and viability of our communities, and I'm certain that you all know that. Your Worship and Council, Highway 3 is certainly a main artery and one that that we need to see finished. My predecessor, Bruce Crozier, did a lot of work. He obviously, the road is named after the effort that he put forward in making sure that that was modernized and was able to fit the capacity or fill the capacity well into the future. It's time that we see that fixed and finished. So, I've given, on a personal basis, I've given the provincial government the political space to do their due diligence, the environmental assessment plans, all of the other studies that they have done. I think now it's time to apply some political pressure to them. It is something that our region needs desperately. My office has created a petition to start to gather public support. It's certainly something that isn't lost on council here. It's an arterial road that needs to be finished for us to be economically prosperous in the future, given the growth of our greenhouse sector. So you have my commitment and efforts working on that. What other notes do I have here? There are other issues of provincial significance that you may not be specifically in tune with, but ultimately it comes down to money. And with us exiting the financial meltdown, the fiscal crisis, the downturn, however way you want to say it, it's now time for the government to ensure that municipalities like ours and regions like ours are treated fairly and given the proper resources. There are no more excuses. Unfortunately, we've seen dollars being wasted at the provincial level that frankly infuriates me. The Auditor General's report was released just last week that highlighted over $8 billion in, I would say, wasted spending on alternative financing procurement policies, APFs or P3s, that are a very risky model. That's $8 billion that municipalities certainly would love a piece of to fulfill their obligations and their services for our community members. So maybe that's a word of caution as the P3 model starts to work its way into every segment of our governance models. One that I'm focused on and one that I think the government should pay heed to because of the fact that we are all looking to stretch our dollars as far as possible. Council, I just simply want to say thank you for the time. I wanted to put a face to the name for new members. I know we've seen each other in and around. I know that we will see each other, a lot of each other going forward. But our office is right here in Essex. It is, you should know it as a resource for yourself. If there are any members of your community, any citizens that have any questions or issues that you may think that our office can help with, it is an open door. My phone is always on. Please use me as a resource, and I look forward to working with you all going forward to make our community a better place. And I'll entertain any questions that you have. So thanks again.
Thank you, sir. Any questions, Council? Council votes.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'll make this brief, because actually, as a result of your presence being here tonight, Therese, and first and foremost, I appreciate you taking the time to come before us in congratulations for our political endeavors. I appreciate that and everything your office has done. With that being said, as Therese was coming out of the House the other day, we had the opportunity to have dialogue back and forth, and what we were having dialogue about is the provincial government today, under the tourism aspect of it, is going to take away from the transportation museum out on Arnertown line. They're going to remove $29,000 from them. And Harry Bergman had called me and obviously been in touch with Therese's office, and those discussions went in the direction of, without that $29,000, it is going to jeopardize our stability of being here, because it works under a solidified volunteer consideration. And the reality is that's a capital tourism aspect for us. There were tens of thousands of people went through there last year. I think Harry said his numbers last year were around 52,000 people migrated through the Transportation Museum in different venues they were holding. So with that being said, Therese has obviously contacted Mike Cadet of the Tourism, help me out, Therese, Chair.
The Minister of Tourism is Michael
The Minister of Tourism, so he's lobbying him as we speak. So I'll be lobbying this council, obviously, at the next council meeting, to formulate a letter and send it forward to the government in terms of needing that $29,000, because the reality is the government of the day doesn't give them the $29,000. My fear is it'll go on the back of the taxpayers, because we need that facility. It's a golden nugget for us, and we have to have that particular facility. So Therese, in closing, I thank you for your work on that. I look forward to working with you on that file, and hopefully we can succeed in lobbying them to return that $29,000 to that particular facility. Thanks, Therese.
Thank you, Councillor Vokes. I appreciate your assistance and your dialogue with me on that right from the get-go, as soon as it popped up as an issue, and working with the museum and through the ministry. I'm pretty optimistic that I think we can resolve that issue. It's an application. There's some gray areas in the application and the operation of the museum. It's more than just an automotive museum. Of course, it showcases our history in the manufacturing sector and the history of the automobile in Windsor and Essex County. We all know how important that is, but it also houses other aspects of our community, dating back to the farmstead of Eugene Whalen. That's an important component of our overall story here in Essex County. It's one that those guys at the museum on the Arner are best positioned to tell. So I certainly understand the importance, although $29,000 in the large scheme of things doesn't seem like a lot. It definitely could jeopardize their viability going forward. So I recognize that. I'm looking forward to working with them. The minister is receptive to being able to tweak their application, and I'm optimistic that we'll get things smoothed out.
Thank you, Therese.
Anyone else? Councilor Bjorkman.
Through your worship, Therese, thank you very much for one of the rookies. Appreciate you coming out, and even at the parade the other night, taking some time to talk with us and discuss things. And just watching this dialogue right now shows how municipally you're involved with us, and we do have that ear, and it's great to have somebody in our town we can go to and talk to in upper level of government. So thank you very much for coming out.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Thanks, Taras.
Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Likewise, Merry
See ya.
Christmas to you all, to administration. Thanks for all the work that you do too as well, and we'll see you in the new year. Take care.
Our next presentation, motion to receive the report, Councilor Vokes and Councilor Bondi. Questions? All in favor? Motion carried. Next presentation is the Essex District High School Leadership Class, Red Raiders Drive for Success. We have 3 young ladies here, and Mr. Garrett, you probably drove them here, so thanks, John.
Thank you, Council, and thank you for letting me address this. What Essex has come to see is that we think it is very important to unify our businesses as well as our school. We have come up with a marketing idea called Drive for Success. It is all 3 of Essex's dealerships. They have all agreed that with every car sold, they will donate $100 to our school. Not just our school, but also our extracurricular activities, our sports, all of that good stuff. So we have spoken to them and they all have agreed. They have all been addressed and they all think that it is a great idea. All they have to do when they buy a car is that I support Essex. So that is a very good idea. The 3 dealerships are Dave Hitchcock Chevrolet, Ken Knapp Ford, and Countryside Chrysler Dodge. They agree that through our youth, we can spread word, we can talk to our friends, talk to our parents, we can go through word of mouth, through social media, decide that we would like our parents and people who are buying cars to buy in Essex, because it not only supports our school, but it also supports our community. Our community becomes more unified. We, as a school, have all been aware of this, and we are doing what we can to promote it. We have given flyers. We have contacted the Free Press. It's already been in the Free Press, but I believe it'll be going in again. We are here to ask for endorsement on this. We believe that it is a very good program, and we all agree with the fact that we should all become more unified as a community. Essex is a smaller area, but everybody should be aware of what's going on. Therefore, starting with our high school, people know that they are supporting our high school, they will be supportive of our community. So we agree that this would be a good program, not only for the community, but for our high school, for us as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Questions of the delegation? Councillor Bondi.
I think it's a great idea, and I certainly support it, and thank you for showing leadership and bringing it to us. And if you don't mind, I'll take a picture of this and put it on my Facebook if you like.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
We'll spread it around. I'm sure we have a great communications department that can work with you too. But I support it, definitely. Thank you.
Councillor Vokes.
Thank you, Your Worship. I would assume, obviously, council's going to support this tonight, so in saying that, could we have the opportunity to get something on our webpage, our Town of Essex webpage, promoting this? That opportunity is there?
Sure. Mrs. Hunter.
Through you, Your Worship, typically this kind of thing we put on our Facebook page. Yes, we can do that.
Thank you, Ms. Hunter.
Thank you. One of our young ladies here, Olivia.
I also think it's a great idea. I think it's really important that the town backs us up on this. We've been working really hard to promote it. We were handing out flyers at the parade, and this little bit of support from the community can help our school do great things and things that we want to do that we aren't able to do. But with this funding, we can do a lot more. So it'd be really, really helpful if you guys supported this.
Very much. Anyone else? Councillor Bjorkman.
Yeah, this is just one more great thing that the school is doing with our community. They've been working with us, helping us with events that we've done in town. And I understand this is more than just sports, right? You're going to be supporting
Yes.
all of the groups in the school?
All of our extracurricular activities, yes.
Okay, that's fantastic. Good job.
Anything further? I have one question. I never noticed, even in the report that I talking to Johnny, what start date, end date?
Oh, it's beyond Christmas. Some people think that it's only until Christmas, but we plan to do it at least for the next year. Obviously, we are hoping it goes well after that. Hopefully it continues. It'll be continuous.
So I can go tomorrow, not that I'm going to go tomorrow, but you could go tomorrow and you're going to get $100 starting tomorrow,
Yes. You go tomorrow, if you want to buy a car, and you say, I support Essex High School. That's all you have to say.
Good. Thank you very much. Okay, Donna?
Your worship, if possible, if you could send this to our clerk electronically so that we can post it. It'll be better looking when we post it on Facebook, in color if you have it.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
yes.
Anything further from council? Looking for a motion to receive the report. Council votes. Deputy Mayor Malash. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you.
D, we have the Harrow and Colchester South Chamber of Commerce, Merle McLean President, Jill Marentet Vice President, and Tim Smeltzer Treasurer. And welcome.
I presume my mic is on now, Mr. Mayor?
That little button's red. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sure.
Mr. Mayor, council, guests. The Harrow Chamber of Commerce is a volunteer organization that has a mandate to improve the business environment of the community and thereby improve the lives of our citizens. I'm going to read this first part here. I presume everybody had it in their package. Is that correct? Or is, okay. I'll just go through it so I can give you a history on this issue. In 2011, the municipality asked the Chamber of Commerce to oversee the beautification of the Harrow Center community with a $50,000 pledge. We consulted our citizens on what they would like to see, and we also worked with the planners from the Essex office, Jeff Watson and Heather Jablonski in particular. Decorative lights, benches, and garbage receptacles were purchased. Some of these purchases were a joint venture with the Essex Center BIA. These purchases were all brought before Essex Council for approval. The decorative lights were installed in the summer of 2011 and received many positive comments from the municipality as a whole. But they started to malfunction shortly after installation and were sent back to the manufacturer and repaired. Unfortunately, this did not solve the problem. Apparently, there is an engineering problem with the design of the fixtures. The LED rope lighting cord is not designed to make sharp twists and turns, and when it does, it cracks, which allows water in, causing the lights to short out. We have all found this to be a very frustrating problem. The lighting fixtures were again removed from Queen and King Street in Harrow. This brings us to the holiday season of 2014 and no Christmas lights in Harrow. The original fixtures cost approximately $25,000, with the chamber paying $4,000 and the municipality paying $21,000. The whole invoice was paid by the municipality so the HST could be claimed. The municipality picked up the cost of installation, hydro expense, and the change of different seasonal heads on the fixtures. Until this issue could be resolved, the Chamber of Commerce asked the businesses in Harrow Center to decorate their windows with lights for the Christmas season. All the businesses cooperated with enthusiasm. Many questions were made to the Chamber about why all the surrounding towns in the county were decorated with Christmas lights except this Harrow Center. On December 5th, 2014, the Chamber Executive, which includes myself and Jill and Tim, who are with me tonight, met with the municipal officials and from Essex and the Mayor, McDermott, concerning this problem. They explained to us, the municipal people explained to us that there was no line in their financial budget to cover the cost of decorations for Harrow Center, and that Essex Center decorations were paid for by the Essex BIA. We explained that our budget is about $13,000 per year and membership is voluntary. In the past, the Municipal Works Department installed and maintained fixtures that were a carryover from before the dreaded amalgamation. I hate to use that term. These fixtures were worn out and disposed of. We are asking to have money set aside in the 2015 budget to buy street decorations for Harrow Center, Colchester Center, and for the maintenance and installation of decorations. Chris Nepsky has emailed a cost, some different cost analysis for this. I believe you have that in your package too. And I'm not going to go through that. You have that information there. And so that's the report we have, Mr. Mayor. And if you have any questions for us or any other things that we can help you with. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Any questions from council members? Comments? Councillor Bundy.
Thank you. Well, it's been a great month. There was a lot of battles about Harrow Lights, and I want to first of all thank our town staff that did come and help, and the volunteers. We have a great group of volunteers in the chamber. Everybody really pulled together this Christmas season and really made Harrow beautiful. And aside from the lights, I do want to make a comment that Harrow is a beautiful town. And to me, it's a lot more than lights that makes a town beautiful. And I certainly will not complain once about the lights, because you won't see me volunteering and you won't see me decorating my own house for Christmas. But Harrow is beautiful because when you walk up and down the street, people smile. When you walk up and down the street, people open doors for other people. When you walk up and down the street, people pick up garbage. It's a friendly, beautiful town, regardless of lights or not. So, that being said, I believe, I feel like I've been trying to advocate for dollars for Christmas lights for the last couple budgets, and it seems to fall through the loophole for some reason. But I will certainly support the recommendation or your suggestion and advocate for lights in Harrow Centre in the 2015 budget. Just because, and Councillor Bjorkman and I have had this discussion, historically the town centres, the business centres have paid for the lights in the urban centers. And I'm not saying that that's a correct model going forward, but that's what's happened. And the water gets really muddy, and it all of a sudden becomes a have-nots, and it becomes a Essex Centre versus Harrow Centre. And the public perception is that Essex Centre has more lights, and Harrow Centre, we got the bad end of the stick. And that's not so. We're just working with different models, with different budgets, and the optics of it is it doesn't appear to be a fair allocation of lights, but moving forward, we need to find a permanent solution, a fair solution, and if that means we have to put lights up in Harrow Centre at the cost of our general coffers, then we have to do the same thing in Essex Centre, and to bring more, make it more uniform throughout our entire municipality. So I thank you for coming, and hopefully we've got the message out there that we do want a solution, and Dan Boudreau and his team did an excellent job. And I do have a question to administration. In the past, town staff were allowed to use the ELK utility poles, and I think that that's one of the levels of red tape. So I don't know if, through you, Mr. Mayor, to Chris, do you think it would be possible that our town staff or chamber volunteers could use the ELK poles? Can we ask that question to ELK?
Through your worship, we can use them for what?
For lights in Harrow, because part of the cost of the lights in Harrow too is we have to hire ELK to come in.
Through your worship, part of the cost is to hire ELK to install them. We don't own the equipment to raise and lower them. The other issue is the outlets on the lights, as noted in here, and the outlets are not required by the town for any use. The outlets are required, in Essex Centre as well, just to plug the Christmas lights in. So that's part of the issue, but definitely we can work with ELK and their poles moving forward on this issue.
Thank you. That's all I have. But thank you for coming forward.
Okay, Councillor Vokes.
Would that not be a decision of the Elk Board to make?
They would work together, I imagine, the town and,
That would have to go
Yeah, okay.
from the board, the
Yeah.
Elk Board, in order to get approval. We can't do that.
anyone else, any comments? Excuse me. No? Thank you very much for coming, Murdo. I haven't said it to everyone, but I mean everyone. Merry Christmas to you all. Need a motion to receive this report? Councillor Cacchiaro. And Councillor Bondi,
Move to receive and to defer to budget.
you support? That's right.
Yes,
Yep.
with deferring to budget as well.
Yep. Thank you. All in favor of the motion? Bill made the motion and Sherry seconded. All in favor, oh, passed, 100%. Next, we have unfinished business, Ministry of the Environment and Climate Change. Yeah. You want to bring that back off the table to discuss? This is the one that we had tabled, I think we had tabled this.
Yes, move it off the table.
Tonight, yep, okay. And supported by Councillor Vokes. Any discussion with regard to this item?
Just quickly, I just
Councillor
want to
Bondi?
say I'm just keeping my radar on it, and I think something will come back from AMO, hopefully on it, and if not, maybe we'll reach out to AMO. But anything that has hazardous waste, involuntary, draws a red flag. in my belly.
Right. Thank you. Deputy Mayor Malash.
Thank you, and through your worship, as this is related to recycling in the county, all of the municipalities, our worship here will end up being part of that. He's going to be on the Essex Windsor Solid Waste Authority going forward for the next 4 years, so he'll hear about it firsthand as well.
Thank you, sir. All in favor of the motion? Yeah, sure he did. Oh, bring it back, sorry. Yep, we need a motion to receive. Sherry and Randy, okay. Oh, any questions? All in favor? Motion carries. I would ask council members to look at our next reports. We have one on page 13, which is R, dealing with the Shoppers Drug Mart, Harrow Center. These people are from Toronto, and if we could move them up a little bit, they'd get home an hour early or something. Deputy Mayor Malash, Councillor Vokes, any questions? All in favor? That's R on page 13, okay? Where are we at here? If I can catch up here. It is Planning Report 2014-55 Shoppers Drug Mart, 69 King Street East. Site Plan Control Approval, Ward 4, SPC 04-14. We have two young people here, if anyone wants to comment. Oh, we have Mr. Watson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If I can start. Yes, Melanie and Peter are here to, on behalf of shoppers, to talk about the plan and answer any questions that you have. But I want to point out that this is actually quite different from a normal site plan control application, because we are actually partners in this. The town of Essex is a partner, because we are exchanging lands that we have expropriated, and shoppers in turn is actually constructing, according to that site plan, everything that is on the plan. So it's a question of a land exchange, and it's a question of the responsibility for building these facilities, and as well for maintaining these facilities. So the difference between this and a normal site plan then is that we will be partners in this, and we will be signing a site plan control agreement together. And that will include the land exchange provisions, the construction of all the facilities, including public parking and private parking, and the maintenance of the properties once all the work is done. And it's rather a complex arrangement, and it's one that will report back to council once the agreement and everything else has been drafted to the satisfaction of our mutual lawyers. So if you have any specific questions, any of the three of us can answer them.
Council members, any questions? Councillor Vokes.
So if I could, Jeff, the main concern tonight is getting a bylaw passed to declare the land in this? Is that what we're...
Through you, Mr. Mayor, right now, what we're asking for council to do is approve the site plan, and then we will in turn set up all the conditions and then report back to you once that has all been drafted. So, but we need that go-ahead to basically have the working plan to follow through with the agreements.
Then with that being said, I'll make that a motion for a seconder in discussions.
Councillor Bonnie supports. Any questions of the motion? All in favor of the motion? Motion carries. Any comment before you head for Toronto?
Just would like to thank Council, Mr. Mayor, and staff for helping us get our expansion done on time. Hopefully, we'll be done by April. We can start construction in spring and have the expansion and the new store open before the end of next year. So thank you again, and Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you. Now, reports from administration. Once again, Finance and Business Services Report number 2014-03. Councillor Vokes. Supported by Councillor Bjorkman. Any questions? All in favor of the motion? Motion carries. Okay, Building Department Report number 2014-11, November 2014 Building Report. Deputy Mayor Malash, Councillor Bundy, any questions? All in favor of the motion? Motion carries. C, Corporate Service Report number 2014-28, 2015 Development Charges. Councilor votes?
I support this report forward by Patrick.
Moved by Councilor Vogt, supported by Councilor Bjorkman. Councilor Bondi.
Just real quick, I know it's kind of time sensitive and we have to pass it tonight, but I know there's a council member here that's missing that has talked about development charges, and he's got different opinions on it as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do have a discussion on development charges brought up by Mr. Snively in the future.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Caxero.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. I think Larry's concern is that we just stay in line with the other municipalities in our region. We know that we're in competition with everybody else in Essex County with regards to development, so that's his concern. I've had a couple opportunities to chit-chat with him a little bit about that, and I'm pretty sure that's what he would be mentioning tonight, so.
Just to let everyone know, we're not the lowest and we're not the highest. We're in the middle, so we're doing our duty. Councilor Vogt?
Yeah, I'm not going to prolong these reports, but just so the new council knows, help me out, Donna. What was the fellow that come and did that report to us, showed us, and when we looked in terms of actually discarding development fees? What's his name? The silver-haired gentleman that...
That would have been Gary Stanley.
Yes, yes. So we even looked at, as a council and administration, getting rid of development charges, all as some municipalities have done. At the end of the day, it made no sense to us financially. So that's, we've touched all those bases, but we'll talk to...
Okay, D, Corporate Service Report number 2014-29, 2015 Water and Sanitary Sewer Charges.
Point of order. We have to vote on the motion.
Okay, I'm trying to speed it up. All in favor of the motion carries. Well, you just heard, we're on D now. Water and Sanitary Sewer Charges. Deputy Mayor Malash moves, supported by Councilor Bondi. Yes, ma'am.
Just to get the message out there one more time, because during the last election, there were a couple of residents that had questions of water on, water off. And the town does charge a rate of around $70 now if you leave your home and you're a snowbird and you want your water completely turned off. And it used to be around $30. So it has escalated, almost doubled. But the reason is it's cost recovery, because it's not fair for the rest of us who don't go away to pay for that service that only a few are uptaking on. So the $70 for water in, water, or turning it off is cost recovery. And I think that message, we need to keep getting that message out there. So it's not a money grab, it's a cost recovery service.
All in favor of the motion? Motion carries. E, Corporate Service Report number 2014-30, re 2015 miscellaneous fees and charges. Moved by Councilor Bjorkman, supported by Councilor Caxero. Any questions? All in favor of the motion? Motion carries. F, Corporate Service Report number 2014-31, Town of Essex Flag Design. Moved by Councilor Vogt, supported by Councilor Caxero. With a question, Councilor Caxero.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, that'll be for the selection that was suggested. A, correct?
Yep. Number one? Yep, number one. All in agreement with that? All in favor? Motion carries. G, Community Service Report number 2014-031, New Year's Town sponsored events. Moved by Councilor Vogt, Councilor Bondi. Any questions? All in favor of the motion? Motion carries. H, Community Services Report number 2014-032, Tim Hortons free skating at town facilities. Councilor Vokes moved, Deputy Mayor Malash. Any questions? Councilor Vokes.
Not so much a question, but a point of interest. There's many things we do as a council on behalf of the taxpayer where we take that diligence on sponsoring events such as this with no notary of that. So there should be something that just let people know what we're doing through these chambers to make sure some of these events go on.
Anyone else? All in favor of the motion? Motion carries. I, Community Service Report number 2014-033, replacement of heating, ventilation, and air conditioning unit number 1, location at Essex Town Hall. Councilor Caxaro? Councilor Bondi, any questions? All in favor of the motion? Motion carries. J, Community Service Report number 2014-034, results of request for tender for Colchester Harbor replacement of float A.
Support the request.
Councilor Vokes moves, Councilor Caxaro supports. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried. K, Community Service Report number 2014-035, mural committee name and mandate change.